Okay, I'm going to give you a quick overview on relational databases. The way they work is we will have a table of information, sometimes called a file. This is a courses table. And in my courses table, I have certain fields. Fields can also be considered as columns. Records we also might call rows. So my fields of information in my students table would be an ID number, that'd be a student ID, a last name, a first name, and I'm going to show you why we wouldn't want to put course number in this particular table. We have our courses over here. We have COSC 1301, Intro to Computers, English 1301. Let's say that Minnie Mouse was actually taking several courses. Well, if you notice, I would actually have to create a whole new row and repeat her information. And what we try and do in relational databases is not repeat information. So rather than do that, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to erase Minnie's second record, and I'm not going to put course number here. The whole point of a relational database is to not repeat. So we're going to create a whole new table of information, and we're going to call this particular table student courses. Okay? And you'll see why table names are so important in just a minute. When I do the student courses, all I have to do is have my ID and my course ID. Remember, the first one's the student ID. We always use numbers in computers for identifiers, simply because they're not easily misunderstood. If I mistype Minnie Mouse, if I don't put a capital letter, maybe I have two students named Minnie Mouse in this particular, on this campus, and now I'm going to confuse the two. So we need a unique identifier. The unique identifier is going to be their number. So Minnie's number is 123. The course ID, let's say she's taking COSC 1301. Course ID is 123. So in my students' courses, all I need is the ID and the course number she's enrolled in. Now I can get all the other information. This is where they overlap. This is called a relational database. This is how it works. The tables are all related. Now, how does that work for us? Well, we're going to use SQL to actually pull information out of this database. What we need to do is select a field name. Okay, so if I want to select from my students, let's say I want all the students named Mouse. So I'm going to pick from my students file. And what I want to pick is, let's go ahead and pick all three fields, ID, last, and first. I can type these out, select, okay, ID, comma, last, comma, and first. Or, since that's all the fields that are in the table, I could just say select, and it's this crazy thing that looks like that. Okay, it's above the 8. If you use Shift 8 on your keyboard, you'll get the asterisk. That's a wild card. That says, I want them all. Okay, now most tables in a real database, they might have up to 400 fields. So yes, you are going to want to list the fields that you want in most databases. But for our purposes, we're going to have a pretty small one that we're going to be working with. So select what you want. Then you have to say from whatever table. We're actually going to be working with two tables. I think the first one is courses. The second one that you're actually going to be writing the scripts for is careers. So we want to select our fields from whatever our table name is called. These are also sometimes called files. Where is a conditional element? In our case, we want to get all of the information from, in my case, this is called the students table, right? Okay, so we want to do from students. And we want to do it where, let's go ahead and say last, that's my field name for last name, is equal to Mouse. Okay. I work in a language where you actually have to have the quotes around them. Okay, then we could do order them. We could actually order on first name. Okay, so we're going to actually order this by first name. Okay, so we're going to put a command in there, order by first. And if I actually executed this, ascending is, by the way, the default, but I can put ASC for ascending. If I want something like that starts with Z to appear at the top of the list, or maybe a more recent set like a date, I would put descending. Okay, so I'm going to give you those both so that you have those. In this particular case, it's going to then go pull from the students table. It's going to pull anybody with the last name of Mouse, so it's going to ignore Donald Duck. And since I'm doing this in ascending order, Mickey is actually going to appear first in my list. Minnie will appear second. Okay, let's write a quick select statement for our courses. I want to select courses with an ID equal to 125. Okay, so we're going to do our little select statement. And I'm going to select, I might just want the course ID, I might want the course number, I might want everything. Let's go ahead and just do your asterisk, that's my wild card, from, I'm clearly not an artist. Okay, the name of the table, in this case it's courses. Then I need my where clause. And if I had said where ID, course ID, is at least, let's say 125. I could pick greater than 124. That's going to give me history and computer science 1337 Java programming. Okay, so that statement is going to give me everything where course ID is greater than 124. In your particular assignment, you're going to be asked to find people where the number of people employed is greater than 10,000. So you would say where employed greater than 10,000. Do not put commas in there. That'll throw it off. Then you might have to order it. Okay, the order by statement. That puts it in a certain order. How do I want to order this? Well, maybe I want to go ahead and do it alphabetically, so I'm going to order it by course number. That's course no. Always use the exact field name. Okay, you can't use what's in the instructions. You have to use the field. Only these things are recognized by the computer. So you have to use these fields. Okay, so you either select on these fields, you order by these fields, you do a where clause based on these fields. So order by the course number. And maybe I want them, I'd probably normally ascending is fine. Again, we don't have to put the ASC, that's the default, but it doesn't hurt to know it. Okay, descending is DESC. Highest number first, this is going to give me lowest letter or lowest number. Hope this helped you a little bit in just understanding how databases are set up.